Ooh, woohoo! Yeah, it's a little delay here. I'm trying to find you, and it's pulling me up your previous videos.
Yes, it's getting me going, girl.
I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to get some theme music for when I start.
Get some music going.
I was listening to one lady do a podcast, webinar, and she has a dance party for like the first minute as people are rolling
Coming
in.
on.
Yeah.
No, it gets your blood going. So hello. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am Celena, and we're going to have conversations with Celena tonight. We had to reschedule due to a hurricane. So, hey, sunshine. Hey, y'all know I got to open with my little country voice. So, tonight I have a special guest that is very special to me, and her name is Kristin Cortez, and she is awesome, and she has an amazing testimony that she wants to share with us, and so I'm so thankful for that. She has lots of information on how she has changed her life, and she is going to share with us so that we can follow suit. All right, are y'all ready? So, before we get started, before I turn it over to her, if you would be so kind as to share the page, start a watch party. If you're on, Kristen, you started one already?
It won't let me. It won't find you. I'm trying.
Really? Let's see.
I'm trying to see what's going on here. Let me get back in Facebook and see if that'll work. Real quick.
Okay,
You know
no
how
problem.
technology is.
I do know. So, you all be patient and please share and start a watch party for us.
I always say that I need an IT person on hand.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see.
Mine has an option to start, but it's already on my page. So,
Mine does it through a as a post, and so yeah, it's only let me pull up your previous live. So, well, I'm just gonna get started anyway, and then what I can do is later reshare it on my page from your page. I think um, I'll try it that way. So, all right. So can you hear me good, Celena?
I sure can.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna get started if you want me to.
Yes, it is
uh,
yours.
all right. Well, like Celena said, I'm Kristin. I am a health and wellness coach as well as a Beachbody online fitness coach. And I work with individuals who have autoimmune diseases, specifically Hashimoto's hypothyroidism. I help them find healing naturally through nutrition, fitness, and a change in mindset, because it's pretty much what I've done over the last 3 years as I've healed myself of my own autoimmune disease. And I'm very honored tonight to be a part of tonight's conversations with Celena. Celena and I met very briefly, like years ago, through a direct sales company event in Poplarville, Mississippi. And at some point, we connected on Facebook, but it wasn't until recently that we really reconnected. And it was a God thing. It was definitely by coincidence because I happened to catch one of her 5 a.m. lives. And I'm going to be honest, I don't normally watch lives because it's usually too crazy in my house. I have three teenage sons, so it's too loud, too chaotic. But I happened to be up at 5 a.m. that morning on my phone, scrolling through, and I saw Celena was live. And I was like, what could she possibly be doing live at 5 a.m.? What is she talking about? And so I clicked on it, and I caught your live when you were doing the positive affirmations. And I caught it just at that moment as you were looking in the mirror and you were saying, I forgive myself. And for me, that was so profound and just stopped me in my tracks first thing in the morning, because I've never, as somebody who's a fan of positive affirmations, gratitude journaling, etc., I've never told myself I forgive myself. And so I really felt in that moment that it was a God thing to hear you live at that moment in time at 5 a.m. And I felt like we have to reconnect because we are both passionate about helping others become the best version of themselves.
Right.
I mean, I firmly believe we are all meant to live happy, healthy, abundant, and prosperous lives. But, sometimes, and I think most of the times, we get in our own way, we get in our own heads. So tonight, I'm going to talk to you about getting out of your own head. And it's something that I had to do in order to find my health and to heal myself of my autoimmune disease. And so it starts with changing your habits. But in order to change our habits to healthier habits, you have to get out of your mind. You have to change your mindset. You have to get out of your own head, out of your own way. And so I hope you are okay with me just launching right into talking about habits and changing habits, because it's a lot of information.
Go ahead, girl.
And I don't really know how long I get to talk. I don't want to.
You share, because someone needs to hear it. And if they can't stay now, maybe they can come back later. But you give us the information that we need.
All right. Well, good. All right. So mindset is probably the most important component of wellness and being healthy. I mean, you can have the nutrition, you can have the fitness, but if you don't have the mindset, you're not going to succeed. You're only going to be able to take that fitness and that nutrition so far. And so that's why it's so important to really train our minds and change our habits, and really understand how habits work and what is the process we have to go through to change them. So the first thing is basically, understanding that what a habit is. I mean, and we all have a basic understanding of a habit. I mean, it's that thing that you do without thinking. It's that thing that you do every day that you default to, like in uncomfortable situations or when we don't feel like doing something. Procrastination is actually a habit. Worry is actually a habit.
Uh-huh.
Because when we do those things, it's giving us a little reprieve from the thing that we don't want to do. It's like a stress relief in a weird sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
So understanding that and understanding why we do the thing we do will help us in changing it. So the biggest thing is that you got to understand the phases that a habit goes through as far as the process of changing a habit. And I know that most of us have learned that it takes 21 days to change a habit, but I'm here to tell you that it actually takes longer than 21 days. 21 days is the first phase of changing the habit. There's actually 3 phases a habit goes through, the change goes through, and each of those phases takes 20 days. So in order to successfully change a habit to the point where it's automation and you've changed it at the subconscious level, you have to go through 60 days.
Oh, wow. 60 days.
60 days. So
that's why it's hard to break those habits.
Right. Because after week 3, what happens? You're like, I don't want to do this anymore, because you're not in the automation phase yet.
Right.
You've actually, all you've done in the first 20 days is you've gone through the destruction phase. So once you understand the 3 phases that it takes to go through changing a habit, then you can change your habits in regards to anything. You can change it in regards to nutrition, in regards to fitness, and then you can be what I call living well, essentially body, mind, and soul. So this is the thing. We have 3 phases that habits go through, and it's destruction, it's confusion, and it's integration. And you have to go through all these phases in order to successfully change your habits. And like I said, it takes 20 days in each one of those. So let's see. And I'm sorry, I have notes here, and sometimes I skip ahead. So I'm trying.
Great.
So I'm trying to find where I am in my notes. But like I was saying, habits are one of those things we do without thinking. So think about something as simple as getting dressed in the morning. I bet most people every single morning put their pants on or their shoes on the same way. Like every morning you might put your right foot in your jeans or your shoe. And I know you're thinking about how you get dressed now.
Right, because I was thinking it is the right, because I'm right-handed, so I'll go right first.
Well, I always put my right leg in first because I think my left side is stronger. I'm stronger on the left side of my body, and so I can balance better. I don't know, but that over time that's the habit that I automatically, when I go to get dressed in the morning, I go to put my tennis shoes on, I do the right side first, then the left.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are the things that we do without thinking. That's like our default way of thinking, and that's how we get with our habits, with our even our unhealthy habits. It's just we default to it because it feels comfortable, it
Right.
feels natural. It's like it's to us it's the right choice, even though subconsciously we may know it's not the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like I said, it gives us that momentary sense of relief and from the stress. So how do you break that cycle? And that's the key. Is we have to break that cycle so that we can start living our best self. Be that healthiest version of ourselves. We have to go from that default way of thinking to a more deliberate way of thinking in order to change our habits. And so the first thing is we're going to go through the three phases. I'm going to explain what each of those are. And like I said, it takes 21 days in each of those phases to change the habit. So you're looking at 60 days. And that's why people have a hard time changing. It's because people give up before they've completed all three phases. They usually stop after phase one, which is the first 20 days, and they throw in the towel.
For me, sometimes it's 3 days.
Right.
Especially on a diet. I'm like, oh,
You're like, I'm hangry.
I'm hangry for real. But I've been doing much better trying to stay consistent. That's my word for this month. But go ahead.
Good.
Consistency.
I like that word. So the phases are destruction, confusion, and integration. And destruction is where you are destroying or breaking up with your old habits. And so that's going to require you to dig really deep and push to do the things you say you're going to do. So, for example, say you are deciding that you want to work out more. Well, in your destruction phase, you're going to take on that Nike slogan and just do it. You're not going to want to do it. You have no desire to do it. But you just have to do it. And so you force yourself to the gym every time, or force yourself to press play on that workout and get it done. The second phase is confusion. And this is that phase where a lot of people will give up because you're still growing and you're learning about this new habit. And there's still a lot of emotion and wavering in this phase. You're in this phase. It's easy to talk yourself out of it. There's a lot of mind games, but if you can get past this phase, if you can let go of the old you and embrace the new healthy habit that you're implementing, then you get to the third phase, which is integration. And that is where you're on autopilot. That's where your new habit is now your new belief system. It's part of your daily routine and you're on autopilot, which means if you, like I said, trying to work out more, then 5:30 hits, you shut down that computer and you automatically head to the gym, whether you've had a bad day or a good day. You're not playing mind games with yourself anymore. It's like it's ingrained in you.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the three phases that you have to go through to change the habit. So there are a couple of things that you can do, or there's actually a variety of steps that we can take to help change the habit, help go through those processes, help stick through the 60 days. And I'm going to talk about 5 of those steps, because I feel like these are the 5 most important steps in changing a habit, and really, embracing a new and healthy lifestyle. The first one is you have to have a plan, and it's it's basically what it says. I mean, we all know what a plan is. A plan requires knowing the what, when, where, why, and how. So when it comes to habits, write out a statement of intention. I am going to do whatever it is you're going to do. And then give it an end date. I am going to do whatever by whatever date. I'm going to eat clean for the next 60 days, or I'm going to be totally gluten free by the end of October. Give yourself an end date. Put some pressure on yourself to do this. Then come up with the where, where are you going to do this? So for instance, if you're trying to work out, are you going to work out at home? Are you going to work out at the gym? Are you going to work out in your neighborhood by walking every evening? The how, you're going to write out, how do you plan on doing this? How do you plan on implementing this habit? For instance, if you're trying to work out more, then write it on your calendar, schedule it out, make it a priority. The second step is going to be, you have to change your behavior patterns at the non-conscious level. And so this sounds like really deep and really wow. How do you do that? Because,
Right?
the habits are at the non-conscious level. So now you're telling me I have to change my activities at my behavior patterns at the non-conscious level. And there's one way to do this, and I can't take credit for this technique. And some of you who are listening tonight may actually have done this before or may have read her book, but I found the best technique for this has been the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. And she developed the rule by accident. She basically was trying to find a way to stop hitting the snooze button, because she knew that in order to propel her life forward and to be more successful, she had to stop hitting snooze and just get out of bed. So she decided, after watching a commercial one night that had a rocket launch in it, that she was going to do that the next morning. She was going to launch out of bed like a rocket. And so right. So she counted backwards. She said, that snooze button, that alarm went off the next morning, and instead of saying snooze, she said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and she jumped out of bed.
Jumped out of bed.
And just like that.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna do a rocket launch tomorrow.
And she said that the reason that works, and the reason this technique has worked for so many people, is because it is you're basically taking your automatic behavior and you're making yourself think deliberately. So it doesn't work if you count forward, because you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, your next thing is going to be 6, and you can keep counting, and that gives you time to talk yourself out of what it is you're trying. Yeah, and so you'll never launch yourself. But if you go backwards, and once you hit 0, it's blast off. You have to move. And
okay.
And you can play mind games with yourself, like, if I don't do this at 0, then this is going to happen, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're launching yourself, you're making yourself do the new behavior. And this method you can do for a variety of things all day long, like getting off of social media so that you can make the phone calls, do the emails, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm getting off of Facebook. That kind of thing.
And that's it. Run off the notifications.
Right.
I'm off. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Exactly. So when you're standing there and you're at that point where you recognize the triggers and the emotions that cause you to make the unhealthy choice or engage in the unhealthy habit, you just count backwards and you redirect yourself, and then you do the action or change you want to behave.
Okay.
So, but you have to, you have to launch. Step number 3 is set up reminders or triggers to help you to remember to do the healthy habit. And when I read about this, I was like, wow, that's pretty profound. Like, and because the guy said, we walk around all day with these smartphones in our hands and we use them for everything, as an alarm in the morning, as, to get our emails, to look at social media, to run our businesses. He said, so use it as a tool to help you with your habits. So set an alarm. So for instance, if you're wanting to be a more positive and grateful person and you're using the I am affirmations that Celena has taught you, then you set up an alarm for every couple of hours for like 10 a.m., noon, 3. And when that alarm goes off, and label your alarm, because you can label them now.
Right.
Put, it's time to be kind, or it's time to be kind to myself. And when the alarm goes off, you say your affirmation out loud, you know.
That's good. I
Yeah.
like that.
I did a similar thing when I was trying to meet my daily step goal on my Fitbit when I worked at the hospital. Because, you get, when you're working in an office, it's sometimes you get so bogged down on the work that you're doing, you forget to take that break. You forget to get up and walk around. And
Right.
so, luckily with the Fitbit, I set an alarm on there. It was at 10:30 in the morning and 2:30 in the afternoon. And when it would buzz on my arm, I would just stop what I was doing, and I worked on the 3rd floor of the hospital. So I'd go down the back staircase, walk all the way around the building, come back in the front door, go up the staircase and back to my office.
Mm-hmm.
It took 5 minutes, but I got in a few hundred steps, you know. And so that was like my reminder, my trigger to do the healthy
To do
habit.
it. Mm-hmm.
You know? And again, sometimes I would have to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up and walk. Because I would want to hit snooze on the Fitbit. But there's a variety of methods in which you can do to set up your reminders. You can put post-it notes around your home or office. You can write messages to yourself on your mirror. One thing that I started doing as a result of listening to your talk, because I saw you talking into a mirror to yourself, was on my computer. I put a picture of myself that I like personally a lot because it shows me confident and happy and healthy. And
Uh-huh.
now when I log into my computer or get into my computer, that's the first thing I see. And so then I look at that woman, which is me, and I say, I forgive you. I love you. You're beautiful. You're confident. You're independent. You're successful. So there's a bunch of different ways you can set up triggers to help you.
Girl, I love it. I love it. I love it.
I
You
gotta
just
thank
don't
you for
ever
that.
know. You don't ever know. Sometimes people are not going to come back and give you that reassurance that you're making a difference. But I appreciate you letting me know that 5 o'clock that morning, when I'm looking in the mirror, that's right here, over here,
Yep.
you know, that it changed, your way of looking at it. Because we do have to forgive ourselves. I have to do it over and over for things that I've already forgiven myself for.
Right.
Sometimes with your kids, you just want to say, I'm so sorry for the mistakes that I made, and
Yep.
so forth and so on. And you forgive yourself, and hopefully they will forgive you. And if they don't, you forgive you, and you keep that train moving.
Right. You forgive yourself in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You keep going.
Going.
um, the fourth step that I really do like and I believe in too, and I think it goes hand in hand with the setting up triggers, and especially if you're using positive affirmation as a trigger, is visualization. So over time through experiences, the way we see ourselves, perceive ourselves, or perceive our current situations can become what scientists have called our set point. So it just means that this is the way our brain defaults on the way it sees us or our circumstances. And so, in order to make new habits stick, we have to visualize ourselves doing the new thing we want to do, or being the person or the version of ourselves that we
Mm-hmm.
want to be. You know, So for example, like if you want to become more vocal at work, because you have these great ideas to share, but you always clam up in staff meetings, you have to visualize yourself raising your hand and being like, hey, I was thinking we could do X, Y, and Z. And, visualize yourself saying it confidently and having the reaction of your coworkers that you want to have, um, visualize yourself in the dress or the outfit that you want to wear when you lose the weight for whatever event, you know, like your son's wedding or,
Or my wedding. How about mine? Let's start with me first.
Right, exactly. So take some time and visualize how you will look and how you will feel when
Right.
you have accomplished these new healthy habits, how it feels to be able to turn down the bad choices when it comes to food, And I have to say, as a health and wellness coach, I would probably be a millionaire if I could sell the feeling that you have when you've accomplished these goals.
When you accomplish it.
Because that's the part is that, I spent 3 years on my own health journey and I went through the frustration and the aggravation. And there are times I'm still going through frustration and challenges. But at the end of the day, I wish I could bottle up that feeling of I, I, for the most part, have healed and I feel so much better. And if I could sell how good I feel to my clients, I'd
Right.
be a millionaire.
And it's not that they haven't experienced that good feeling before. Sometimes fear will still stop you because it's like, well, once I lose that weight, then what? The expectation, the bar. I don't know. Even though we've experienced that feeling, we got to get past those 60 days to maintain
Right.
that, I think.
Well, and we also fear what's next. Like,
What's
okay,
next? Yeah.
what do I do next? And then there's also this fear of, but what if I get there and then I fail? Like I
That
revert.
fear of failure. Yeah.
Um, the final step is believe. You have to believe in yourself and you have to believe in your abilities. I mean, it does you no good to work on changing your habits if you don't believe you are worthy of the thing you're working on. I mean, you have to believe you're worthy of the promotion. You have to believe you're worthy of being healthy and fit. And by believing that you are worthy of these things, you're going to let go of the guilt. You're going to let go of the anxiety you feel about moving forward and changing the habits you want to change. The other thing is, so we talked about, when believing in yourself, you can use I am affirmations to create that, like I said, I'm a firm believer of affirmations. But when
I
it
love
comes,
them.
I know, they said that the two greatest words in the world is I am, because nobody can fill that in for you. Only you can fill in that.
So you got to be careful what you say behind those I am. And for so long, we've said critical things about ourselves.
Right.
And so we just have to change that.
Yes. But the second part of the belief is, I think personally, and I think for some people that when it comes to believing, they don't want to believe that they're worthy of something because I think self-consciously, or they feel that they're not worthy of the change, or they're not worthy of the time or the life they're going to put into that change. So like, for instance, you want that promotion at work, but then if you stop and think about maybe why you haven't gotten that promotion, maybe it's because subconsciously you're holding yourself back because it's going to require too much time away from your family. you know so I think sometimes,
We self-sabotage is what you're
right, right, exactly.
saying. Self-sabotage.
Exactly. So when you're setting up your habits, you want to make sure that the habit you want is truly something you want. It's not something that you're doing because others expect it of you, or you think that's what you should be doing. So anyway, so So by understanding the phases that we have to go through to change the habit, and by using these 5 steps, you can change any habit in regards to nutrition, in regards to fitness, in regards to mindset. And I'm actually in the middle of developing a free program on YouTube that takes you through 30 days to living well essentially. I call it the 30 days to living well essentially challenge, where I take you through the steps and the process to changing your habits so that you can live a healthier and happy lifestyle. Each video is it's a daily video, and they're about 3 to 10 minutes in length. And there's a little writing assignment at the end to help you implement the changes, and we go through the 5 steps for everything. We go through the 5 steps for nutrition, for fitness, and for mindset. So that at the end of 30 days, you are setting the foundation to living a healthier and happier lifestyle. And hopefully by the end of 60 days, you're on autopilot,
Because I was going to say, you need 30 more videos behind that, because we got to go.
No, you just put them on repeat.
Put on repeat for 30 more days.
So anyway, that, to me, changing habits, changing mindset, and going through those steps is going to be key in, a healthy lifestyle, a happy lifestyle, living that life of abundance and prosperity and all that we're meant to live, so that's it. That's what I have.
That was awesome. That was awesome. And I really do appreciate you sharing. Just that's a portion of your journey. So
right. It is.
It's the condensed version, but I think it was enough to get us on the right track and get over to the YouTube channel and start that 30-day challenge. But I do want to, we did have just some comments. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I do want to say hello to the people that are telling us hello. So we have Tamara, Saved by Grace Abram. Hey girl, hey, thank you for signing on. We have Miss Bonnie. She says, hello, ladies. Mamita Connie, she says hi. She says she's gonna do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. Let's see. Oh, Miss Amy, she says she's watching. And oh, she said I look beautiful, girl.
Girl, you do look beautiful. That red pops.
You notice my color though, right?
Yes.
Let's see. Miss Juanita Jefferson, hello, thank you for joining. Miss Nell, hello there. Tamara came back. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, my sunshine. So thank y'all so much. And make sure that you share it so that we can all get fit and healthy, because Kristin has really changed her life by changing her mindset, her diet, exercise. She is no longer on medication due to autoimmune. And I just want to reiterate that, because autoimmune, y'all, we can self-heal by changing that mindset, changing what we eat, clean eating. And I do have some questions that came in from what we were scheduled before about clean eating. And what did I say? Clean eating, exercise, and mindset.
Yes.
It's those 3 things. It sounds easy, but you got to put in some work in order to get those results. But just think about it. No more medication, and she feels great. Shoot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm gonna go. If y'all have some questions, I didn't put the number up there, but you can put them in the chat. But I also have the line open, and that's 601-202-0955. But we do have questions that came in previously, and the first one for you, Miss Kristin, is how do you stay consistent with your daily habits? I think you said it, but we're gonna answer the question.
So, yeah, well, consistency with the daily habits. I mean, I struggle just like everybody else, but I have to implement the things that we talked about, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that helps me. But when it comes to an autoimmune disease and healing yourself of an autoimmune disease, the science behind it is that, our bodies are meant to heal when we fuel them the right way, when we fuel them with the nutrition that our bodies need. And so when I approach my diet on a day-to-day basis, bite by bite, meal by meal, I look at what I'm about to eat and I ask myself the question, is it going to heal me or hurt me? And that keeps me consistent. When I look at my diet in that way, I'm able to make the right choice and I'm able to stay consistent. It's the same with the working out. I mean, yeah, there are times that I'm tired. And for those who don't know, I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis and I have rheumatoid arthritis. And so there are times where, especially with the rheumatoid arthritis, I'm tired. My body hurts. I ache, and it's easy to say at that point, I don't want to work out. But I know that it's better for me to work out, to move my body. And so it is mindset. That's how I stay consistent. You know, I have mind games, but I try and do it in a positive way.
See, now I like that. And I heard something similar to that my friend Teresa told me, that you think about, is this pushing me closer to my goal or further away from my goal? So when you see the food and you think about it before you eat it, is this going to be, what was your words?
Is it going to
Fueling my body,
Well, is it going to heal me or hurt me?
heal me or hurt me? Okay, so I'm going to write that down. Heal me or hurt me?
Because with an autoimmune disease, it's mostly the underlying complaint, and the biggest thing is inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
That inflammation is caused by a lot of the foods we eat. So that's how I stay, focused. I don't want the inflammation because the inflammation hurts. It upsets everything. It upsets my gut. It upsets my joints. It upsets even my mindset. Did you know that inflammation is the root cause of stress sometimes? Because inflammation will mess with your chemical balance. So it can cause anxiety. So
Lord, I don't need any more of that. I do not need any more of that.
right.
So on my next meal, which I have no clue what that's going to be, but I'm going to look at it and I'm going to think about it and say, is this going to heal me or is this going to hurt me? And my coach, Benita, she told me to do a pause. So before I did anything, that I needed to pause, which is basically part of this question to yourself. So before you make any decisions, before you eat anything, you stop, you pause, and you think about it. And so she'd ask me on our sessions, how'd you do? And I'd be like, girl, I did good one day, and then, but it's a habit. It's a hard habit to get used to, because when I'm ready to eat, by that time I'm probably hangry,
Right.
so just eating and not really thinking about it. So during that pause phase, are you really hungry? Are you thirsty? Are you
Right.
bored? You get a chance to evaluate, why am I eating this, before you even get to the should I eat it. It's like, why
Right.
am I in the pantry? Why am I even in the refrigerator? So that pause, when I was utilizing it, it helped.
Yes.
So all bringing things, back to the forefront of my memory, of my mind, so that I will remember to do it and ask that question, is it going to heal me or is it going to hurt me? Because those carbs and that sugar, like Sean made me my coffee and I said, what'd you put in it? Oh, I put some sugar and some creamer. I said, I haven't been drinking the sugar for a while. You're trying to hurt your mama. Right before I go on live, he's trying to put me in a sugar diabetes.
Mama.
I'm like, why would you do that? So he had to pour out the coffee and we had to start over from scratch. I said, just bring the stuff. Let me fix my own coffee. You fix the coffee, you bring it to me and let me spruce it up. But so we'll move on to the next question. And let me check and see. Oh, Miss Connie said, great show, ladies. Miss Jan is watching. Thank y'all so much. I hope this is helpful. Let us know in the chat if you have any questions or if you find these tips helpful.
Yes.
So the next question was, the person said they want to eat clean, but they need tips on getting started of how to eat clean.
So, basically, it starts with a pantry overhaul and going through that pantry and just throwing out all the things that don't serve your body in a good way. You know, getting rid of the processed food, and starting to eat more fresh and organic foods, eating foods with the least amount of ingredients. If you're going to eat something that comes out of a jar or a box or whatever, I typically don't purchase things that have more than 3 ingredients, because after that, you're getting into ingredients that will not serve you. You don't know what they are. They're chemicals, they're preservatives. You don't need them. But it's about reading labels and deciding, what is it that you don't want to put in your body. So for me, I don't do gluten, dairy, soy, egg, mercury, or unnatural sugars.
Girl, you done hurt my heart. you, when you get to the dairy and the cheese, it's just like, please, Lord, please don't let me be lactose intolerant, because I just don't know what I would do without cheese. I keep them in business. We have so many different types of cheese in that refrigerator. Oh, Lord.
Well, I used to be the same way, but when I would have to say, probably after the first 3 months or so of eating clean, I stopped craving those things. Like, okay, so believe it or not, I have not had pizza in 3 years, and I don't crave it at all. I don't miss it. I think, I mean, I can't really think of anything as far as cheese and stuff that I miss. I really don't. I have found ways to, my palate has changed, you know,
Okay.
and I like foods for their natural flavors. Like, I actually can eat a baked potato with olive oil, salt, and pepper, and I'm satisfied and I'm happy with it. Like, I don't put the butter and the cheese and the sour cream on it anymore.
Woo!
So
Okay. I'm gonna keep hope alive that we can get there. We can get there. So one thing I want to say right there is, I also heard shop just on the outer side of the store, where the fresh fruits and vegetables are.
yeah,
Or you can go right there where the frozen food, but stay away from the canned goods and, like you said, the processed and everything that's in the box. So when you really want to start eating clean, go right there on the outside and you should be fine.
yes. So I have a Facebook group, Cook to Heal. I actually have a unit on meal planning and prep and how to eat clean, how to grocery shop. And it's one of those tips that you just said, is shopping all the outer walls of the store, because once you get to the middle aisles, that's all your crap.
That's all the junk. That's all the junk. And it's cheaper.
Right.
The junk
Exactly.
is cheaper. Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
right.
So
Little
yeah.
Debbie, like Little Debbie, or what's expensive fruit? Any fruit, really, to be
Yeah.
honest. Strawberries, blackberries, Little Debbie fruit. I mean, if you're on a budget and you
Yeah.
have that mindset, you're gonna go with the cheaper. But once you change your mindset and know that that Little Debbie is gonna cost you more in the long run, eating that unhealthy snack versus getting you a healthy snack, you're gonna go for the healthy snack, even though it
Well,
costs you
because
at that
you got
moment.
to weigh the cost of the pharmaceuticals that you're buying
Mm-hmm.
to offset the unhealthy eating habits.
Right.
Because, see, I've been medication free for 3 years now. And I was on meds for rheumatoid arthritis and thyroid disease. And so I don't have that expense anymore. I just have my expense is food.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to be
And
honest,
not
I'd
all
rather
those
eat.
side effects, because everything has
Right.
all these different side effects, and you get to it, and the first thing you say, "Oh, it may cause death." What?
I know.
I don't want that, or it may, and the list goes on, and the more you read it, you're like, I don't even want to read this, because you automatically start having every single symptom,
Yep.
side effect that's on there. So
Yes. And
once
and after you start eating this way, after you implement a clean eating diet, and you stick with it, and you're able to rid your body of all the hurtful things that your medications do put in as side effects, your body is actually going to reject your medication, because it doesn't need it anymore. So I I couldn't take anti-inflammatories. Like every single one I took would give me canker sores in my mouth. It would cause other issues.
Oh
And
my
so,
goodness.
right. So I had to, the only way I could battle the inflammation before the diet was my provider had put me on a fluid pill. And I literally took this fluid pill 2 or 3 times a day for probably 13 years. And after I got off my medication, like after I started this diet and I was able to wean myself of the pill, I remember one time going back to take it because I was swollen for whatever reason. I probably had eaten something that I shouldn't have, or, maybe not even knowingly eaten, because sometimes when you go out to eat, you don't know what's in the food, even though you ask. And so I went home and I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to flush it out with that fluid pill. Like I still had some on hand and I hadn't taken them in a while. And I took that fluid pill and girl, I broke out in hives from head to toe. The same fluid pill that I had taken for 13 years.
Wow.
So your body will reject the things that it doesn't need, as far as the meds and stuff, after eating clean and healing from the inside. So,
That is amazing. Oh
yeah.
my. So the next question is, how do you beat the cravings and fight the temptation? So now you're saying that your palate has changed and you don't even want some of that stuff. So was it just a process over time, or initially, I guess is the best way to ask this. Initially, how did you fight and beat those cravings and the temptation?
So you get creative in the kitchen. And I spent a lot of trial and error learning how to make the foods that I have a weakness for. So I have a sweet tooth. And I love breakfast foods. I love waffles. I love pancakes. I love muffins.
Mhm.
And when you're eating gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free, breakfast was probably the hardest thing because, that cut out that whole food group. And
That
so,
whole meal.
right, it's like, okay, so now what do I eat? But I learned how to bake things gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, to conquer that sweet tooth, to have those breakfast foods. I just recently posted in that group, Cook to Heal, a chocolate muffin that's gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, and the chocolate icing on it is made with sweet potato, and it tastes like a buttercream chocolate icing. So
Oh, girl, you got some left?
it is delicious. And so that's what I'm saying. You get creative in the kitchen, and you keep things on hand that are healthy. You only keep the healthy choices on hand. That's what I'm saying. It's a pantry overhaul. You throw out the things that don't serve your body. Um, Another weird thing that helped me was ginger. So I like sushi ginger. And oddly enough, if I'm craving something and I'm not sure if I'm hungry or not,
Mhm.
I'll just eat a few slices of the sushi ginger. You can get it in a jar at Whole Foods, and that curbs that craving. And plus, it's good for gut health. So, and it fights viruses. So it's just I just keep things on hand that will that are healthy. And again, in my Cook to Heal Facebook group, I have like a unit on recipes, and it has some of those things in there. So
Okay.
yeah.
So while you're talking about gut health, I think that I read the tea that you're drinking. It had a lot of benefits. So can you tell us a little bit about that tea? Because I need to go to Amazon and order me some. Like, this is
So
dope.
it's the blue butterfly PT, and it P being PEA, like the bean, or the like a pea pod. It's a flower, and so basically, the tea is these dried flowers that you steep, and they're blue in nature, and it helps with everything from stress and anxiety, chronic fatigue, which normally you have chronic fatigue because you're stressed and anxious and you can't sleep, kind of thing. So then you're always tired, or when you do sleep, you're not sleeping well.
Mhm.
Um, it helps with your skin as far as wrinkles. It helps with gut health. So that matter of fact, that's what I'm drinking tonight. It helps to relax you, and I was very anxious when the pandemic started, which was new to me because I'm not normally an anxious person. And this for
You were not alone.
and this for me just really threw me for a loop and caused me to experience some anxiety that I wasn't used to. And so I stopped sleeping. Like I really was not sleeping at night. I was having a hard time. And because of that, then you end up with gut distress, because when you're not sleeping, your body's producing too much cortisol because of that stress hormone. And then it causes gut inflammation. It causes weight gain. It causes bloat. And I was like, okay, I'm in this vicious cycle and I need to get out of it. So my husband, he ordered this tea just by chance because he was Googling things and he found this tea that had all these health benefits. And he's like, look, I ordered you some tea. I think you might like it. It has all the natural things you like, and it fights all these inflammation and whatever. And he told me about it, and I was like, what? What is that? Butterfly pea? I was
right. And it's blue
blue.
butterfly pea.
So,
twister.
And so I Googled it and I was like, oh, okay. So when it came in, we had fun trying it because it's a deep blue color. And then when you add lemon to it, it turns it purple. So it's kind of like really neat tea. But that very first night that I drank it, I slept so soundly.
Wow.
And like I have been sleeping so soundly ever since. I mean, it's to the point where I can now sleep through his snoring,
You'll be putting your husband's business out there like that.
He don't watch these things.
He gonna watch this one.
Right. But no, I love the tea. It smells like cooked spinach in the bag, when you open it, but it doesn't taste that way. It's like any other tea, like a green tea. It takes on the taste of whatever you put in it. So I put unsweetened coconut milk and agave in it. So my husband likes it with lemon and honey. So.
Oh, I was gonna write that down, but somebody's laughing at us. They put the little laughing face.
So, but
listen, you have a supportive husband because he came home with that book that
yes,
changed your life.
yes,
and tea that has caused you to sleep. So I think you need to be real nice to hubby.
I am very nice. He is my biggest cheerleader. He's my biggest fan. I couldn't do what I do without him. Like, he is the reason that my health got better because I was so done with the medical, with doctors. They were not helping me in any way. Matter of fact, if you go on my website, you can see my story, you can read my story, or you can go to my YouTube channel and you can watch the video. But basically, I had gotten to rock bottom with my health, and I had left an endocrinologist's office, and he told me that he didn't believe in my Hashimoto's diagnosis, and he wasn't going to treat me. And I was just devastated at that point, and I was like, I will do whatever it takes to heal myself naturally. And so got home that night, told my husband about the appointment. He was upset. I was upset. And he started researching on the internet, and he found the Hashimoto's Healing Diet book, and went out the next day while I was at work, and he bought it for me. And girl, I didn't even read it. I jumped straight to the eating part. Like, what do I need to eat, basically?
Right. We're going to start this process from the inside out.
Right. And then later on, I went back and I read the first couple of chapters, but literally I jumped all in and I cut everything out of my diet that didn't serve me. So gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, mercury-free, overnight, like that. Just
cold turkey.
Cold turkey. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom.
That's going to be the new thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's right. So, but anyway.
That's good. That's good. That was the craving, wasn't it?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, so I have 2 more. How expensive is it to eat clean? I think you touched on that one already too, but
what I tell people, because I do a meal prep service for those local to the North Shore, and a lot of times I get that question like, "Oh my gosh, it's expensive to eat clean. How do you do it? How do you budget it?" And I just tell people this. I said, you know what? Take what you're going to eat out of your out of your monthly grocery bill. That allocate that to you. Like, make sure you allocate those funds for what you're eating. Um, and find the recipes that you can have that your family will enjoy as well.
Mhm.
Try incorporate family meals that they will like. I have, like I said, in my Cook to Heal Facebook group and also on my website, I have friendly recipes, everything from beef stroganoff to chicken Alfredo. Like, these are family dishes, and they're inexpensive to make, but yet you can have them. Um, and the other thing too is, you got to look at it down the road. Down the road, you're not going to be paying for pharmaceuticals anymore, you know? And so that money that you spend on medication is now freed up for you to eat better,
Mhm.
you know? So,
That
but
money that you're gonna spend on the 3X, 4X, 5X, whatever, because I was in the X's, and you always have to pay extra. I've got to pay extra for all that material that it takes to make those pants or shirts or whatever. So,
right, right,
just all around different ways, and not to mention how you're gonna feel. You're gonna feel
right,
great.
right.
So, and that's priceless.
Shop in bulk. I mean, buddy up with somebody who's got a Sam's membership if you don't. And because, places like Sam's and Costco, they all have organic ingredients now, and I tell people that all the time, shop in bulk. That's easier. You can, cut up ingredients and freeze them for later use, um, take advantage of the sales at Whole Foods when they have it, shop local farmers markets. That's your best bet when it comes to affordable fresh vegetables, fruits and
Mhm.
vegetables, and honey, organic honey. Shop your local farmers markets. But definitely, make buying your food a priority in your family
Budget.
grocery.
Yeah.
You
Just
know,
allocate it to yourself.
just say, well, baby, you can't have them Debbie cakes right now. Sorry.
I can't order everything I want off Amazon, so I got to back up off the Amazon. There's a way to do it. We can't eat out every Friday because that's expensive, and I can put that. I can allocate that Friday
Right.
night eat out over to this. I could allocate my normal late night shopping on Amazon over. So you make it a priority, pretty
Yep.
much.
You cancel those subscriptions that you don't use that got you sucked in
Oh
for
my
the.
God, girl, you talking to me right now. And the very last question that I have, because I don't see any on the comments, was is there anything specific that you can eat that's beneficial for your skin?
In general, when you eat clean and when you take out all the chemicals and all the preservatives, you're going to see a change from the inside out. And then you're going to see that in your skin. You're going to see a glow in your skin. You're going to, I've had people who have followed my meal plan, who have followed the diet, who have done my celery apple blend detox, have healed themselves of psoriasis.
Oh goodness! And that
Yeah,
was celery and what?
celery and apple. And so it's a celery apple detox with spirulina in it. And it's a detox smoothie. It's on my website that you drink every morning on an empty stomach, even before the coffee. And I had a girl who had psoriasis at the nape of her neck, really bad. And within 24 hours of drinking that drink, the redness had started to calm down. And within 3 days, it was all gone.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Do
when
you
you
have to
start,
have a special type of blender?
um, I don't, but I take that back. I have a restaurant grade blender. So it's kind of like a applesauce consistency, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the texture. Some people will juice it because they don't want the pulp, you know.
Mhm.
Um, it doesn't bother me. I just gulp it all down because to me, it again, is it going to heal me or hurt me? It's going to heal me. Okay, it's going
We're
down.
gonna go for it. Okay. All right. So I might have to try some celery and apple.
Yeah, it's a really good recipe. It's antiviral. It flushes the lymphatic system. It gives you electrolytes, all these things. But when you take out the chemicals and the preservatives, your skin clears up, your skin conditions clear up. And then I also encourage people to drink a lot of water with lemon. Because that also flushes your body of toxins. So yeah, that's
Well, that was the last question, and this was all some great information. And I sure do appreciate you coming and sharing your story with us and the
you.
tricks that we can do, or the lifestyle changes, I should say, that we can do to heal our bodies and live our best lives.
Yes, and definitely. So if you want, I can put the link to the YouTube channel where they can find the 30-day challenge to living well essentially. Or I can put the link to the one of the groups, the Cook to Heal, whatever your viewers are more interested in.
Yeah,
So
I know. I think probably both, because you're going to have some people that want to do the cooking and some people that want to work on changing the habits. Some want to, combine them. I need
yeah,
to probably combine them so that I can change some of my habits and also, learn how to cook differently, because you gravitate to some of those same items when you go to the grocery store unless you change it on purpose. And when you
right,
have the people that you're feeding, like you said, you don't always try to feed them the same thing, because they're going to be looking at you like, what the world is this? Where are my noodles? Where's my cheese? Where's all this stuff? So I think it'll be beneficial to put whatever you have to offer
right.
on the so that we can find you, ma'am.
Awesome. And I
But
thank you.
I enjoyed this.
Yes, indeed. And I thank you so much for letting me be on. And you are going to be on my mindful minutes in a couple of weeks.
Mindful minutes. What am I doing on mindful minutes? Can't remind me, girl. What's my role?
Well, I want you to talk about the positive affirmations and how they've changed your life and how they can change other people's lives. So,
Yes, because I actually, I have my little love box back here, and I have really been amazed at the comments. Like, I'll ask some of my friends, was that one okay? And they're like, girl, you did fine. But outside of my circle,
mhm.
I really have people like you telling me, I saw you at 5 o'clock in the morning looking in the mirror saying, I forgive myself. And, literally on the phone talking to people and them sharing their stories with me. And it's just been amazing. I love it. And hopefully it shows, and it's not scripted. I'm sure that shows too. I'm
Well,
sure that part shows too that it's not scripted. I get on here and it's live. You get what you get. You like me, you stay. If I'm not your cup of tea, it's okay, because I know I have an assignment, like you have an assignment for certain people, that we're to reach those people. And for the ones that can't receive it from me, I'm okay with that. And it doesn't mean that they won't. It may just mean this particular day, this was not the message for
right.
them, and you catch them on a different day. But I really love the fact that people are texting me, calling me with
Hmm.
the affirmation. Like, I uploaded a video and it was like a few minutes later, I got the I am, what was it? I think it was I am alive. No, I am peace. That was what the one that I got the other day. I am peace. I said, dang, I just uploaded that. So I
Hmm.
knew that she had just watched it, because I got the text message and she said, I really did need that. And almost every day, someone else is saying, oh my gosh, I needed that
Hmm.
one. So that's really good, because
Yeah.
today you might need, I forgive myself.
Right.
Tomorrow you might need, I am worthy, because somebody tried to tear you down. It's like, oh no, you can't have that. I'm in control of that now, and I know that I'm worthy. So I just really want people to get in a habit of, if negative comes, change it and make it a positive.
Yes, yes, indeed. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to your talk. I'm looking forward to you inspiring my viewers and getting them all on the positive.
Woo! Yes, yes, girl, you're gonna get me excited. I'm gonna be ready to go tonight. No, no, I am. I'm gonna prepare for your audience.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, so thank you so very much.
Yes, and again, thank you for coming. Y'all make sure that you share, that you visit Kristin's page and the food group, the cooking group, the YouTube page is some really great information, and you can see her full story because it is like an amazing story, and it'll get you excited and ready to go clean out that pantry,
Yes.
shop on the outside walls of the store, and live your best life. That is what we're here for. So make sure you like, share so that other people can benefit from her testimony. All right. Thank y'all so much for joining this live. And I think we're done for tonight.
All right.
All
Bye.
right. Bye, y'all. Keep it smiling, sunshine.